Hello and welcome to Iron Port, your authoritative maritime current affairs television program that brings Ghana's port and maritime industry closer to you. We also discuss trading issues that have some direct or indirect effect on the port's business. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Oil Company Limited, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, and the Meridian Port Services Limited. The program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, this week our topic for discussion is promoting and optimizing the value of Ghana's exports. You should recall that last week we touched on the National Exports Development Strategy, where we were told that Ghana intends to rake in an amount of 25 billion Ghana cedis by the year 2029. The following discussion will highlight some of the efforts that is going into achieving this particular set target, and also some of the challenges that exporters face when it comes to taking their goods out of this country overseas.
We don't, add value to our exports. We just export in the raw state, which does not give us the requisite earnings that we desire, that we should be earning as a country. Tell us what you are doing to ensure that we optimize the value of our exports.
Well, for Ghana Export Promotion Authority, our mandate is in twofold. The first one is development, and the second one is promotion. So in terms of development, what we do is we work closely with the exporters and their associations, and we facilitate the processes for them to increase their outputs.
Right.
As you know, we are primarily a raw material exporting company, so most of our exports go as primary products.
Right.
I.e., for example, the pineapples that we do, quite significant amount of it goes by fresh.
Yeah.
However, to add value, value addition also generates additional, revenue. And so we encourage as much as possible exporters to try and add value to their products. But adding value also suggests that you must have the raw material base. Yeah. Because if the raw material base is small and consistently, sustainably, because whatever you do, because we are an agrarian country, most of our people depend on agriculture. And so agricultural value addition is the key to us going forward. But if you don't have the raw material in sufficient quantities, then manufacturing or processing becomes a difficult challenge. So first of all, the base must be strong. And that is why, for example, companies like Golden Riverside, we try to assist them with planting material that will enable them to expand their farms, and so that when they now get enough, then we can go into processing.
Right.
There are a few companies that are going into processing now. For example, Blue Sky and a few others. They are doing quite well, but most often you see that they complain about not having the raw material enough for them to process.
Right.
So some of them have to go even beyond Ghana to Benin and a few other places to get additional material to process. So first, we are laying a lot of emphasis on supply side issues.
Okay.
So since 2017, GPHA has made a conscious effort to provide support towards improving on our supply capacity in a various product areas, particularly pineapple, where we've invested close to about 11 million sachets that have been distributed to various farmers. We've also now constantly provided support for the coconut industry, because that's also another important area where value can be added.
Okay.
So once we move beyond that, then we are going to the next phase, which is the processing side. That being said, already government plan is towards one district, one factory, which is a very good policy that enables companies that are located in districts to move to the next step of processing their materials. And so we are also very heavy on supporting 1D1F companies to go into heavy processing. And once they have processed those products, the next step is where do we send them to? That's where the export market then comes in. And we are heavily involved also in promotion.
Right.
So these are the two ways in which GPHA is focused now, as in the past, to support our exporters. And it's been going on for quite a while.
Let me come to you, Mr. Anto Yafi. You export virtually every week, and so now you would have been very familiar with the nuances and intricacies involved in the export business. I just want to find out from you what you make of the processes you have to go through every week to ensure that you have your products out there on the international market. You mentioned Germany, you mentioned Switzerland, you mentioned the Middle East and France, as one of the countries that you export to. Are you satisfied with the processes you go through?
Satisfaction, I don't know how I'm going to rate this, but I'm not too satisfied with the processes sometimes we go through. Because we are dealing with perishables, we expect that things shall be done on time, especially in the nights when maybe you are late and you are trying to get your documentation done. You have to chase an officer here and there to get documentations done. Taxations and cost of documentation is quite high for us nowadays. And one other area, handling, is key. You build your pallet very nicely from the farm, and when it gets to the port, they'll have to reduce it because of our scanner. They say the scanner is shorter. They'll reduce it. We don't have a problem with it. But when they are finished scanning, when they are restacking them, then they mix up sizes, they mess up the boxes, and when it arrives, it doesn't look too good as compared to our competitors from other countries. Yes. So I believe if they look into this for us, it will go a long way to help us. You rightly mentioned before, our major concern is financing.
The cost of borrowing.
Cost of borrowing is quite high now. Last 2 years and last year, I think it was okay, about 20%, but now it's around between 26-30%, which is not too good for us. Agriculture and perhaps the perishables that we are dealing with involves a lot of capital, and once you are not well resourced, it makes our work a bit difficult for us. Once you have orders and you don't have the needed resources to be able to make up for those orders, you might lose your clients, because as for the clients, when they order, they don't care whether it's raining, they don't care whether you have money, you have packaging, you have what, they don't really care. All that they want is their goods to get to them as soon as possible. So we really need our banks to assist as well. Before, they were talking about collateral issues, and then the government has set up a body that is now supporting agriculture with 70% collateral, which is GPHA, and which I'm even a beneficiary of it. Okay. And it is helping. Even with this, I think the banks are still a bit sluggish about.
But there's Exim Bank, and I think that Exim Bank should be benefiting some people like you. Are you not? What's happening with it?
Yeah, well, we have applied for it, but it is not just one sector. The sectors are more. So we don't know when it will get to our turn.
Okay. So I get it. Yeah.
Yes. So maybe in future it will get to our turn.
Yes. Shouldn't GPHA be supporting them and pushing, pulling some strings at Exim Bank to?
No, GPHA is doing what it could. Like 2018, 2019, when they saw that our sector has issues with getting this smooth cayenne back to the system, they assisted farmers with over 11 million suckers, which I also benefited about 2 million suckers out of it. Yes, so they are doing their best. They are supplying coconut seedlings and other areas where they are also putting in much effort. But financing, sometimes, it goes beyond them. So we were looking at our banks to do this for us. And also our land issues. Yes, the rate of encroachment is becoming high. Yeah. And if you're a farmer, your major asset is your land. And if you approach these banks to assist you to acquire your land, sometimes they drag their feet a bit because they think the land will not give them money quickly or something. So I think our bankers should go back to the drawing board and really look into our operations and assist us, because if they do, that is what is going to bring in a lot of foreign exchanges to the country. Yeah.
Right. Let me come to you. The suckers, the 11 suckers that you distributed to the farmers, do they pay back, or give it to them for free?
Well, before
because that would be a very huge investment.
Yes. Okay. Before I say that, let me quickly say that In terms of the financing, we've also been doing our bit, advocating strongly for additional financing for our exporters.
Right.
Because, they've done very well by going on their own for quite a while now. But without, financial support, it will be difficult for them to expand.
Right.
And so all we can do at GPHA for now is to do the advocacy on behalf of our exporters, because we ourselves don't have, that pot of gold that we can use in supporting them.
Yeah.
And there are agencies, or let me say institutions, that are responsible for providing that kind of support, i.e. particularly the banks.
Right.
So we do encourage a lot of the banks to turn their to focus also on the export sector. And I know that the Stanbic Bank, for example, we've been working with them, advocating for exporters and all that. And as a result of that, most of them have now set up export departments.
Right.
Hitherto, they didn't have export departments.
Okay.
But some of them are beginning to see the light. And
Which is quite significant.
Which is quite significant.
Yeah.
And they are giving more and more financial assistance to exporters. I know Stanbic Bank because we've been dealing with them. Recently also, we've been speaking to Cal Bank, who are also willing to come in and support. So I'll just use this platform again to appeal to our banks that they should look at exports. Because when, the exporters export, the revenues come through the banks.
Yeah.
And so they hold the money for some time before they even give to the exporters. And they don't give the monies back to the exporters in dollars. They give it to them in
Local
cedis,
currency, yes.
which means that they are holding on to the forex and are using them for their purpose. So they owe the exporters in a way, and they have some responsibility towards them. So the little they can do is to turn their focus also on them and assist them. Secondly, also, we've been working closely with Exim Bank,
right,
and I've been advocating strongly that they should also do some, put dedicated funds for the SMEs, because most of these exporters are small in nature. They are small and medium enterprise. They are not large enterprises. And that is the reason why the bank was established to provide financial support to the exporters. Right. And of late, there has been some very good movements around there, to the extent that even on Friday, when we went to launch the Coconut Festival,
yes,
they announced that they are dedicating 30 million Ghana cedis solely towards the development of the coconut industry.
That's true.
Which was a very laudable
initiative.
Also, they announced recently that the yam sector is also going to get support from them. I think also of an equal 30 million, if I'm not mistaken, 30 million Ghana cedis, again, solely for the yam exports. And so these are very good signs, and I strongly applaud them for that and urge them to continue that way and look at all the priority sectors that we have identified in the National Export Development Strategy document and provide that support. If we go at it and we are consistent, I'm very, very positive that we can achieve the $25 billion of non-traditional exports only, and then add the traditionals to it. And we should be hitting around $40 and $50 billion.
Yeah.
So we can tell from that discussion that there are some good signs for Ghana's exports. Let us all come together as an industry to promote our exports, because a lot of Ghana's successes will hinge on it. Let us now listen to a few of your comments on the subject that was just discussed right after we go on break, and we'll be back with more news. Stay tuned. My name is Sami from the Volta region. I'm into coconut farming. How can I get access to some of the coconut seedlings GPHA is providing to show up my production capacity? Hi Sami, you are encouraged to visit GPHA's regional office in Ho around the Ministry of Agric. There you will be assisted. You're also encouraged to join the Federation of Coconut Exporters or the Coconut Farmers Association of Ghana. The GPHA official said that way you can benefit from the distributions made to the associations. This one is from Dr. Emmanuel from Adenta Frafraha. He says, I'm into sweet pepper and ginger in Volta region, which I want to export. I would need some technical advice on how to go about it. Hi Doc, Mr. Dajawa said, GPHA is ready to provide the needed support. He encourages you to visit any of GPHA's offices for further interaction. Fuseni from Chiripone in northeast Ghana says, tell the officer we need some of the seedlings in Chiripone district. We have areas where we can sow the seedlings. Hello, Fusaini. Kindly visit the nearest GPHA office for assistance.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Adjei about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Adjei,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the project and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating great opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Welcome back from the break. Now let us hear a few stories from Ghana's port and maritime industry next. The Minister for Transport, Kraku, has commissioned the GPHA constructed near Adjei Kraku II Sports Complex in Tema, Newtown. The facility, which forms part of the corporate social responsibility of the Port Authority, comprises a world-class astro-turf football playing field with sufficient illumination for night games, a spectator stand, a multi-purpose court for volley and basketball, tennis lawn, changing rooms, washrooms, and a children's playground. The facility is at the cost of 4 million Ghana cedis. Speaking at the official commissioning and handing over of the state-of-the-art astro-turf, he said the facility will go a long way to inject additional impetus into the Tema Newtown community and also become a catalyst that will enhance the quality of life of the people, especially the youth. He entreated other public sector agencies to emulate the example of GPHA by reaching out to communities in their operational areas and lending support to them.
I am aware that GPHA has invested in other major CSR projects such as the renovation of educational facilities for some schools in Tema and also donated educational material to schools across the country from Tema through the Middle Belt all the way to the northern regions. These are deliberate efforts, initiated by government agencies aimed at enhancing the lives of Ghanaians. Effort must be lauded and they should be encouraged to do more.
The Director General of GPHA, Michael Lugoje, said the decision to construct the facility was taken in conjunction with the leadership of the Tema Traditional Council, premised on their desire to see the fruition of this project for the youth and community.
We are of the view that this facility will be beneficial to this community and will help in no small measure to shape and empower the youth as far as raising responsible young people for our country is concerned.
He charged the Traditional Council to ensure regular maintenance of the facility.
We are also aware that this particular project cannot also just entirely be managed by the Traditional Council without the Municipal Assembly. We therefore urge a very close collaboration between the Traditional Council and the Municipal Assembly for a very competent management of this facility. Let me assure you that the authority, through its corporate social responsibility, will continue to lend a helping hand to the various communities which all fall within our catchment areas according to GPH's capabilities.
The Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki, has encouraged the business community in the country to declare the right quantities and provide the right documentations when importing their goods. This, according to him, will facilitate their trade as well as do away with any negative tag their company's image may suffer under the guise of defrauding in duty payment.
Let us continue to be law-abiding citizens. Anytime you goes out there to buy your cargo and come, please declare the actual values, actual quantities, give specific actual description, and do not find yourself wanting for such a bad news to hit the industry.
Speaking in an exclusive interview with Iron Port, Samson Asaki said importers should be wary of favors that could later affect their businesses. Samson Asaki entreated importers that anytime they are seeking for discounts, they should go through the appropriate processes by applying to the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority.
You generate your value, you think that the tax bill that they gave to you is so much, you can go to them and then tell them, show them your documents, documentation showing the cost of the value of your cargo and looking at the cost of duty that they are prepared for you, you cannot pay. And it's always been varied. Yes, you might qualify for it, but first and foremost, you have to apply. If you apply, it has to go through a review process before it's given approval, and those approvals too should be backed by their law.
He encouraged government to continue to provide a congenial environment for businesses to thrive.
Now let us take our lenses to the international scene and pick a few stories from the shipping and maritime industry around the globe. The United States Department of Transportation is getting ready to convene the first meeting of supply chain stakeholders participating in a new national freight data platform aimed at boosting transparency and efficiency in the supply chain. The platform, called the Freight Logistics Optimization Works, or FLOW for short, was launched in March by the Biden administration as an initiative to help solve supply chain congestion, speed up cargo movement, and lower costs for American consumers by increasing transparency in each point in the supply chain. Right now, the platform is only in its beta testing phase. China State Shipbuilding Corporation, CSSC, has announced the launch of what is claimed to be the world's largest capacity container ship, coming in at 24,116 TEUs. The ship, named MSC Tessa, was floated out of its building dock at the Hundong Zhonghua Shipbuilding's Jiangxing Shipbuilding Base, located on Shanghai's Jiangxing Island, on August 1. Hundong Zhonghua is one of the major shipbuilding units belonging to the state-owned CSSC. With a carrying capacity of 24,116 20-foot equivalent units, MSC Tessa will surpass Evergreen's Ever Alert by 112 TEUs to take the title of the world's largest container ship. All right, now for our Word of the Day segment, we will tell you what TEU stands for.
TEU is an abbreviation for 20-foot equivalent unit. A TEU is a standard unit for counting containers of various capacities and for describing the capacities of container ships or terminals. One 20-foot ISO container equals 1 TEU. One 40-foot ISO container equals 2 TEUs.
It's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed in the ports of Tema and Takoradi, as well as those in the anchorages of both ports and those expected in the coming weeks. Also, the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This brings us to the close of today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, you can channel all your concerns, recommendations, suggestions through this platform so that we can address your issues for you. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eye on Port, for all the content we show you here and many more. Thank you for watching.